I missed someone. Okay. We were going to set up extra chairs today. I think we're going to be all on this new. See, I knew that would happen as soon as I move away. All righty, friends. Shabbat shalom. Welcome. Glad that you could be here with us on this last Shabbat Eve of 2021. I hope that we are all looking forward to 2022, and God willing, we pray that it will be a better and healthier year for everyone. We're going to warm up a little bit this evening as we get ready to greet Shabbat. Shabbat shalom to everyone who's joining us online as well. For those who are on the live stream and on Zoom, it's good to see you. We're glad that you are here. Okay. So we're going to warm up a little bit. Page 128. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Again, we want to welcome everyone as we begin our Shabbat service all together. We turn now to page 121, the lighting of our Shabbat candles. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary, both physically and virtually. Bless all who enter in need, all who bring the offering of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love in the new year. Join me, please, in the blessing. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who makes us holy through commandments and who commands us to light the lights of Shabbat. We join together in Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei b'ria gafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahavav ratzon inchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh zecher litziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta v'yotanu kidashta mikol amim v'shabbat kodshecha v'ahava uvratzon Inchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen. Chaim. We turn now in our prayer books to page 125. I will put the words up on the screen for those who are at home. Page 125. Where has this week vanished? And in many ways, I think we could say, where has this year gone as well? Is it lost forever? Will I ever recover anything from it? The joy of life, the unexpected victory, the realized hope, the task accomplished. Will I ever be able to banish the memory of pain, the sting of defeat, the heaviness of boredom? On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free of the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat, abide. Help me to withdraw for a while from the flight of time, contain the retreat of the hours and days from the grasp of frantic life. Let me learn to pause, if only for this day. Let me find peace on this day. Let me enter into a quiet world this day. On this day, Shabbat, abide. Page 127, the bottom and the middle of the page, we read together, we offer thanks, O God, for this Shabbat, which unites us in faith and hope, for Shabbat holiness, which inspires sacred living, for Shabbat memories glowing even in darkness, for Shabbat peace born of friendship and love. We offer thanks and blessing, O God. We turn now to page 138. We turn now in our prayer books to page 146, and we rise for the Baruch Hu. Continue on page 148. I'll put the words back up on the screen for those who are at home. Page 148. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chokhmah poteach sha'arim, ובתבונה משנה עיתים, ומחליף את הזמנים, ומסדר את הכוכבים, במשמרותיהם ברקיע כרצונו, בורא יום ולילה, כולל אור מפני חושך, וחושך מפני אור, ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו, לעולם ועד. Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim. We continue on page 151. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Blessed are you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. We join together in the Shema on page 152. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto. Le'olam va'ed. Please be seated. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha v'chol me'odecha ve'hayu advarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'beitecha uv'lechtecha b'derech uv'shochbecha v'kumecha וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. Ani Adonai Elohechem. We continue at the top of page 157. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there's a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. Now, if the cantor were here this evening, he told me that the proper Micha Mocha for New Year's Eve is Micha Mocha Ba'ilim Adonai, but I'm not going to do that tonight. Instead, we'll join in a happy song of freedom. Micha Mocha, page 158. Micha Mocha Ba'ilim Adonai, Micha Mocha Nedar B'Kodesh, Micha Mocha Ba'ilim Adonai, Micha Mocha Nedar B'Kodesh. Nora page 160, we find our Hashkivenu prayer, our lullabies. We ask God to keep an eye on us, not only as we lie down to sleep this evening, but as we enter into a new year together. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'ha'midenu shomreinu l'chaim. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. On page 162, we continue with the covenant of Shabbat, V'shamru. V'shamru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את ha-Shabbat לדורותם בריאת עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את ha-Shabbat, לעשות את ha-Shabbat לדורותם בריאת עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את ha-Shabbat, לעשות את ha-Shabbat לדורותם בריאת עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את ha-Shabbat, לעשות את ha-Shabbat לדורותם בריאת עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את ha-Shabbat, לעשות את ha-Shabbat לדורותם בריאת עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את ha-Shabbat, לעשות את ha-Shabbat לדורותם בריאת עולם. Page 164, we rise for the Amidah. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'koneh HaKol, V'zocher Chastei Avot V'imahot, U'mevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Lema'an Shemo V'Yahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Bezrat Sarah. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה, רב והושיע, מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ורחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ברופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומיתו מלך, מלך ממיד ומחיה, ומצמיח ישוע, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, קדושים בכל יום ילדוך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. Please be seated. We continue now at the top of page 173. We read together in the English. May these hours of rest and renewal Open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. We continue now on page 175. O God, you are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, and our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. Let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, shodcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. Page 177. Together in the English at the top of the page. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha u'lechana lehodot. And on page 179, we move from our prayer for giving thanks to our prayer for peace. I invite you to read with me these words in the English. They are at the top of page 179. Together, grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul. May the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamevarech et amo Yisrael, b'shalom. We take a few moments now for our own silent prayers. Imrefi, ve'gyon libi lefanecha. Yiyu meratzon, imrefi, ve'gyon libi lefanecha. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, Adonai. Egion libi lefanecha. We turn to page 371. And here we find our prayers for healing. As we wrap up this week, as we wrap up this year, we think of all of those who could use some healing in their lives. Members of our families, friends and neighbors, members of the community, all who could use some healing and health, those who are recovering from COVID-19, those who are recovering from surgeries and procedures in hospitals and at home. The prayers of our congregation go out especially this Shabbat to Lauren Bowman, Darrell Bronson, Laura D. Christina, Dr. Jack Hudson, Edward Lefko, and Joel Webb. Oh God, we think of all who are facing illness and pain. We join our prayers with the prayers of all who love them. Give them renewed comfort and courage. Strengthen in them the healing powers you have placed within us all. Guide the hands and hearts of those who are entrusted with their care. May the knowledge of your love and ours give added hope to them and to their dear ones. May they find even greater strength because our prayers are linked with theirs. Baruch atah Adonai Rofei HaCholim. We praise you, Adonai, source of healing and health, comfort and strength. We join together in our Misha Berach prayer for healing there in the middle of page 371. Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor Averacha Leimotenu. May the source of strength who blessed the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misheberach imotenu Mekor Averacha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. In our Torah reading for this week, last week we began the book of Exodus. This week, we quickly move into the story of what happened there with Moses in the land of Egypt. And it's in this week's Torah portion that we read the first 7 of the 10 plagues. And with everything going on in our world, in our community, I think it would be easy to read this week's Torah portion and to focus on plagues as we worry about our health here in the city and state and country and world, as we see our numbers of COVID go way, way up. But on this last Shabbat of 2021, I don't want to focus on plagues. Instead, I want to focus on a moment from last week's Torah portion and this week's Torah portion. It was last week that we met Moses for the first time, and in chapter 3 of the book of Exodus, we read the story of the burning bush. Moses could have very easily not seen the burning bush. Moses was busy. He was a shepherd. He was looking over his flock. He probably had his own sorrows, his own problems that he was worried about. He had lots of things on his mind. And yet, he was able to look up and notice this peculiar sight of a little bush that was burning but was unconsumed. According to Midrash, lots of people walked right on by without noticing it. But that's what made Moses special, is that Moses, even in the midst of everything going on in his life and work and family, was able to stop and notice. My prayer for us in this new year, even though we get so worried and consumed with news and headlines, we get so consumed with all of the things that keep us busy, sometimes we forget to look up. Sometimes we don't notice what's going on right around us. And in this new year, I want us to especially try to focus on the positive, on the good things, the blessings in our lives that too often when we're busy, we might forget about. And then in the beginning of this week's Torah portion, last week's Torah portion ended with an unsuccessful first appearance before Pharaoh by Moses and Aaron. In fact, it ends with Pharaoh saying, I think I've been going too easy on the Israelites. I'm going to increase their workload in the same amount of time, and they can go get their own materials. And the Israelites turn to Moses and they say, thanks for helping. And so we find a down in the dumps Moses at the beginning of this week. He didn't want this job in the first place. He was busy. He had other things he could be doing besides coming to Pharaoh to try to free the slaves. He needs a pep talk. And that's exactly what God delivers at the beginning of this week's Torah portion. God says to Moses, don't worry. We're in this together. I will not abandon you. I will be with you. And let the people of Israel know that I promise this day, things will get better. I will redeem you. I will save you. I will bring you out of this land and bring you to the promised land. Don't give up hope. Things will get better. Again, a message I think especially appropriate and important for us on this December 31st. As we prepare for a new year, it's easy to be discouraged, to be worried, to be stressed. Let us remember that things will get better, that God is right here with us, looking out for us, protecting us. We need to continue to carry on, and things will get better in 2022, God willing, for all of us. We turn now in our prayer books to page 586. I'm going to change the camera. Please rise. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'atei gdula le'otzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. Please be seated. We continue on page 591. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding. Love each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace. V'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz v'yomahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. Page 593. In nature's ebb and flow, God's eternal law abides. When tears dim our vision or grief clouds our understanding, we often lose sight of God's eternal plan. Yet we know that growth and decay, life and death all reveal a divine purpose. God, who is our support in the struggles of life, is also our hope in death. We have set God before us and shall not despair. In God's hands are the souls of all the living and the spirits of all flesh. Under God's protection we abide, and by God's love are we comforted. O life of our life, soul of our soul, cause your light to shine into our hearts and fill our spirits with abiding trust in you. We turn now to page 598. As we think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, we are in Shloshim for Andrew Rivera. When we think of those who died at the season in years past, those whom we've taken into our hearts with our own, as we lovingly recall now the Artzeiten of Isidore Alanek, Rebecca Aronson, Kobe Elaine Becker, Mervyn S. Block, Fred L. Chamness, Dr. Stanley Kahn, Joseph Hugo Epstein Jr., S. Stewart Farnett Sr., Charles W. Frank Jr., Francis G. Goldring, Joanne Flom Greenberg, Joseph Greenberg, Amelia Greenwald, Mrs. E. Jones Goodheim, Hannah Block Hausman, Bernard Hyman Hirschberg, Alphonse Hirsch, Ronald F. Katz, Sophie Wright Kirstein, Dr. Melvin Kossover, Morris H. Levy, Rosa Levy, Margot Levy, Amelia Levy Weiss, Retta Fisher Loeb, Shirley Malkov, Harry Mexick, Max Newmeyer, Dr. Irving Lewis Rosen, Beth Block Rosenthal, Audrey Horowitz Seltzer, Abraham Solomon, Leonard David Stone, Margaret Vetta, Amelia Levy Weiss. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be an everlasting blessing. As we turn to page 598, and I'll put the words on the screen as well, so that those at home can follow along as well. Page 598, and we rise as one community to recite the words of Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, v'alma divrach yirutzei, v'yamlich malchutzei, v'chayechon v'yomechon, v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, v'agalav v'zman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam ulalmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, shmei dekudisha b'richu, le'ela min kol v'chata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechamata, da'amiran v'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlomo Rabbah min shamayim v'chayim, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, comfort to all who are bereaved, as together we say, Amen. Please be seated. Glad that we could all be together on this final Shabbat Eve of 2021. I want to thank you for joining us here in the kind of warm sanctuary, as well as everyone who is joining us at home on Zoom and on the live stream. We're glad that we could be all together as we look forward to a new year. The flowers adorning our bima have been lovingly donated this Shabbat by Harold Victor and Sally Victor Siegel in memory of Hannah Block Hausman, and by the loving family of Dr. Irving Lewis Rosen in his memory. And we're glad that you're here with us tonight. Tomorrow morning, there will be no Torah study or Shabbat morning service. We invite everyone to sleep a little bit later and enjoy New Year's Day. There's lots, though, coming up in the next week. I hope that you will check out our website and newsletter. Our TV club and book club both resume this coming week on Tuesday and Thursday nights. Hebrew school will pick up again this coming Wednesday, and a week from Sunday, we will return to Sunday school, our Chavara at Sinai. Again, for all these details, I recommend you check out our website, our weekly e-blast, and the newsletter. We're going to conclude our service this evening on page 657. The words are, Od Yavo Shalom, peace will surely come. For us, for everyone, for the entire world, peace or salam, shalom for everyone. It is a prayer for peace for the new year. I invite you to rise as we join together. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, ve'alam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, ve'alam. Salam. Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, ve'amulam. Adonai Oz la'amo yitain, may God grant strength to our people. Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom, may God bless us, our families, our congregation, our community, our country, and all those who serve and protect it. May God bless the land and people of Israel and all the world with the blessing of Sabbath peace. Shabbat Shalom and a happy and healthy 2022. Shabbat Shalom to everyone here in the sanctuary. I'm so glad that you could be here with us tonight. I also want to wish a Shabbat Shalom to everyone joining us online. Shabbat Shalom, Mark. It's good to see you. A happy, healthy new year. Amy, Ruben, all the way up in Toronto. It's nice to see you. Shabbat Shalom and happy
Shabbat
they celebrate the new year up there too, right?
Of course we do. All by ourselves in our houses.
Yeah, I'm afraid so. Shabbat Shalom, Janice and Mike. Shabbat Shalom, Amy and Judy. It's nice to see you. Shabbat Shalom, Sharon, and Shabbat Shalom, Marion. Shabbat Shalom,
Shabbat
Bobby and
shalom.
Kathy. Ruth, I think you're there as well. Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and thanks for joining us. A happy and healthy new year.
Shabbat
Shabbat
shalom.
shalom.
Shabbat shalom. I just can't tell you.